good 2002 to you, everybody. Good evening, I'm DC Bash. Welcome to Dirt Zone 2002. We're set to go sprint car racing, and I can't think of a better way to start than the Florida sunshine here for Florida Speedweeks 2002. 9 nights you are in for some of the hottest racing you are going to see anytime this season. Kicking it off here at Putnam County Speedway. Haven't been here in a while. A little bit of an unfamiliar confine to our beloved All-Stars. Got to bring the A-game tonight. Some big names in town. Joey Saldana, Lance DeWeese, Fast Freddie Raymer, and of course our All-Stars, 4-time defending champion Kenny Jacobs, Chad Kemenoff, Danny Smith with a brand new ride tonight. It's going to be a war. Sit back and get ready to rock here in Putnam County. Let's throw it up top to the voice of Dirt Zone, Rick Eshelman.
Thanks, DC. Welcome back, race fans. This is Dirt Zone 2002, 20th annual Florida Speedweeks Putnam County Speedway. The All-Stars haven't been here in some 11 years. Well, back when Bobby Davis Jr. and Kevin Huntley won features when it was called the old River City Speedway. One of the changes this year, the Guy Webb number 51 entry has Danny Smith in it, and Bash is down with Kenny Jacobs, last year's champ.
We didn't get a chance to wish our champion his official congratulations, but I want to take this opportunity. Kenny Jacobs, now the 4-time defending champion of the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Congrats, and way to go once again.
Thanks a lot, Bash, and Jeff, thanks a lot. It was an uphill battle all year. We gave a couple of real big ones away and kind of pushed behind the 8-ball, and Aaron never gave up, and we just fought our way back to the lead and got it on the last race and ended up winning again. So here we are in Florida, and we'll try it again.
Speaking of Florida Speedweeks, Kenny, how important is it to get off to a good start? You haven't taken a lot of checkered flags here. How do you set up this place? It just doesn't seem to be friendly to you in the past.
Well, I tell you, Florida's never been very good to me. I've had a couple of really good years here, and the rest of them all been bad. But we're on the Hoosier Tire deal now, and Hoosiers have dominated Florida for years now. I think that's been our big drawback since I've been coming down here, and we're ready to go this year. And I'm not sure how important Florida is. It's only 2-point races, 3-point races this year with the added Palatka race on it. So I guess it's a little more important than years of the past. But I think we'll come out of here a lot closer to the point lead than we have in the past years.
Got a new paint job on this thing, man. Looking nice there. It's a little different than the normal red, but it looks like you went to a model shop and got that. It looks sharp.
Yeah, we're awful proud of it. We did a lot of work to get this. My dad's losing his eyesight. We had to get something so he can see, and if he can't see this, he needs to quit coming.
All right, Kenny, listen, congratulations again on the championship, and best of luck here in Florida and throughout the 2002 season. Here we go, man.
All right, thanks a lot, buddy. Can't wait to get started.
Kenny Jacobs, 4-time defending champion of the All-Stars. Back to you, Rick.
Thanks, DC. Nice looking car for Kenny Jacobs. Of course, he was the champion in 2001. Chad Kemenoff led the points most of the season, ended up second. Danny Smith, Dean Jacobs, and Greg Wilson rounded out the top 5. And out of those 5, 17 feature wins came from those drivers. And there's second place last year. Chad Kemenoff, he's with Bash.
Well, we've talked to the champion, Rick, and I would be remiss if I didn't talk to the man that was just about to unseat him and still out to do it one time, Chad Kemenoff. Welcome back from Australia. Welcome to Florida for 2002, man.
Yeah, it's good to be back home. We went down last week and ran the 360 show at East Bay, and that didn't go quite as well as we hoped, but we got out of there in kind of one piece, and we're ready to start the season now.
You had a decent Australia trip, spent most of the month of January there. You came out with a win?
Yeah, we won the President's Cup, and over there, that's a pretty decent race. You know, Steve Kinser's won it before, and Hewitt's won it. I think they said Hodden Shields won it. This is actually a pretty neat deal, and Australia is usually as fun as it usually is.
You're starting to get some notoriety. I'm understanding that as far as rankings, you are ranking up there around 20th in the world, so you're moving up and getting better and better every year. And you came so close last year to the championship, but what's in store for this year?
You know, hopefully we can just stay consistent again, you know, and we need to win some more races, and hopefully everything goes to the end of the season, and that'll be good.
All right. Listen, Chad, wish you the best. 16 points out this year. Let's go ahead and nail it this year.
Yeah, we're going to try.
Chad Kemenoff, runner-up last year with the All-Stars. Back to you, Rick.
Well, race fans, here we go. The first point race of 2002. 39 cars signed in for tonight's action. Of course, 4 10-lap heat races start the show off. Then the 4-lap Hallmark Dash, and those points will be added up throughout the year. The 15-lap B. Tonight, 30 laps, $5,000 to win. And one of the rookie contenders for 2002, Bill Rose in the 6B, is with Bash.
The 6B may not look very familiar to a lot of All-Star fans, but you're going to be seeing a lot of this guy. He normally ran with the USAC in the past, but contending for the Rookie of the Year this year, Bill Rose. Welcome aboard, man, for the tour.
Well, I appreciate it. Really looking forward to it. I mean, I haven't run a lot of wing stuff, but we ran a few times last year and had a great time, and figured we'd just try a different change.
I got to see you at Lawrenceburg for the first time. You had a decent night there, but you did spend a lot of your times in non-wing stuff. compare the two. Why the change?
Well, I don't know, just a little bit, just different change, a little bit more exciting. Non-wing's definitely exciting. It's just a little bit more money, I think, with the wing stuff in the future part of it. I mean, USAC pays pretty decent money and stuff, but with the All-Stars, I don't know, the contingencies and everything, it just looked better for me, and I figured we'd just try something different.
A couple go and a couple come. It's great to see you out with us. You going to continue to do some non-wing stuff throughout the season?
Yeah, whenever the All-Stars ain't running, I'll go do some USAC races, and I'll go out at the end of the year to California and do the SCRA stuff, the big races out there. So
just can't resist it, can you?
Oh no, I still love it. Just trying something different.
All right, listen, we wish you the very best of luck as far as the Rookie of the Year, and good luck here tonight at Putnam County.
Thank you. And I want to thank Hoosier Tire, Stealth Race Cars, Sander Engineering. Without them guys, they help a lot.
You're not a rookie. He already knows what he's doing here. Back to you, Rick.
It's been a long, cold winter, and the time has come for us to get back to racing. We're in the beautiful Sunshine State. We're going to be back in a moment on Dirt Zone. Thanks, DC. Crown Battery Heat Race number 1, the first race of 2002. Mike Woodring in the 19 will be your pole car. Zach Chappell in 50Z on the outside of the front row. Starting in third, Freddie Raymer. You're used to him in 77. He's now in the 88. Danny Smith, also in a new ride. He's in Guy Webb's number 51. He'll start fourth. Then it's Chad Kemenoff, finished second in the points last year in 15K. NCRA's champion from 2001, Gary Wright in 9. Mike Wagner in 55. Leonard Lee in 16L. Jeremy Campbell in 10C. Doug Behrman in 1. The field hits turn 4. Green is out. We're underway. Bash, and Zach Chappell takes him into 1.
Well, Rick, Zach Chappell getting baptized by fire here in this first heat, ASCS champion in those 360s, but look who's behind him. Another 360 champion, Mike Woodring in that number 19 with the ESS. Fast Freddie Raymer dominating the PA posse. Chad Kemenoff last year's runner-up. Garrett Wright, 9-time NCRA champion. He's going to be tested early, but Zach Chappell rising to the occasion here in first heat, Rick.
Well, as always, 360 drivers try their hands with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Of course, 410 motors in those machines. And they did well last year, Bash, and it looks like this year, once again, the 360 drivers cut their teeth with the All-Stars, and they shine. But right now, it's Woodring on the outside of Gary Wright. Gary Wright, the NCRA champion from 2001, takes the low line out of turn 4, and he's going to hold the inside position as they thunder side by side in 1 and 2.
You're not going to see Gary Wright make many mistakes. That's the thing about him. He's going to make his way to the feature any way he can get there, and the guy just does not make mistakes. He waits for the guy in front of him to make those mistakes, so you got to keep your eyes on Gary Wright. Also, Danny Smith, Rick, new ride this year with the Guy Webb number 51. Jared Hull exiting that car last year. So Danny Smith looking for a big season with the Guy Webb team at number 51 there.
Well, you always look forward to new racing and a brand new season, but it's always so confusing when drivers change rides. Lance DeWeese now driving Raymer's 77. We'll see him later. Raymer and DeWeese is 88. Jared Hull was in the 51. And now Guy Webb has Danny Smith in that car. Can't tell the drivers without a program. That's why you watch Dirt Zone. We'll keep you abreast of who's running where, but right now Zach Chappell's still running out front.
Changing cars like I'm changing socks, Rick, day to day, and that's pretty much the story down here with these Florida Speed Weeks. Lots of stories roaming around, lots of guys changing cars, lots of guys still not knowing exactly where they're going to run. It's kind of like preseason baseball, still looking at a lot of things for the season, so a lot of things could happen here in Florida before we even get back up north.
Well, right now down south, the action is heating up as Woodring closing in on Zach Chappell. Chappell, a scratch golfer. He's something else on the links. Let's see if he can scratch out heat race number 1 as they get the 2-lap signal. White flag the next time.
Zach Chappell looking very good this year, trying his wares in that 410. And as I recall, Rick, throughout last season, every time we saw Zach Chappell, he schooled a lot of our All-Star Circuit of Champions sprint car drivers. Won a couple of heat races with us last year, so my goodness, I'm looking for big things out of this kid throughout the 2002 season.
And it looks like right now the 360 days may be over for Zach Chappell as this 410 running extremely strong here in Palatka, Florida. And here comes the checkered flag. Zach Chappell is going to be your winner. Mike Woodring second, fast qualifier. Gary Wright is third. Freddie Raymer fourth. Mike Wagner is fifth, and Bash Zach Chappell did it his first race of 2002. He pulls off Crown Battery Heat number 1.
Zach Chappell doing a great job to bring that home when you consider who was in that heat race. Gary Wright, Chad Kemenoff, Mike Wagner. A lot of tough competition, but we'll talk to him in just a minute. Formerly with the ASCS, it's Zach Chappell with your win in Crown Battery Heat race number 1. We're back in a moment with Dirt Zone 2002 from Florida Speedweek. Don't go nowhere. We're back. The first heat of the 2002 season here in Florida is in the history books, and to take it is young Zach Chappell. Zach, excellent run out there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You did great last year, ASCS. You normally run the 360s. You won the championship there, so you're off to some good things in your young life. How do you explain it?
Just got a good backing. My father's been with me. He supports in everything I do, so it's pretty much all I can say.
Going to spend a lot of time with ASCS this year. Going to try to keep it in the 410s as much as possible.
We're going to go back with ASCS. I think it's a good deal to run. I like the 360 motor. I'm real confident with it. So we're going to go back with 360 and then just run 410 whenever we have a chance.
No small task out there to hold off Gary Wright and Mike Woodring. They're breathing right down your throat, but it looks like you got a nice setup. Good luck in the A-Main.
Thanks, sir.
Zach Chappell, winner of heat number 1. Back to you, Rick.
Thanks, Bash. B&B Oval Track Products Heat Race number 2, and it'll have Travis Rylett on the pole back in his familiar competition number 1A. Kelly Kinzer on the outside of the front row in 4K. Shane Stewart in Junior Holbrook's 8H. Last year's champion, the Mouse, Kenny Jacobs in 6. Tim Schaefer's in 45, and Billy Pouch in 55 on the outside of row number 3. Rodney Duncan in 22, Christy Passmore in the 1AX, Toby Brown in 61A, Roland Johnson in 72, and the field is lined up side by side, 10 laps in length. Top 5 finishers move into tonight's $5,000 to win A-Main event. Bash, another great field, heads out of 4 for the green.
I wouldn't put a lot of money on it, Rick, but as far as I'm concerned, Barney Lau don't think is going to be happy with that start. We'll see if they call it back here as they move down the back chute there, and no, calling it back. Rack 'em, stack 'em, let's try it again.
Once again, the field lines up side by side. Rylett and Kinzer on the front row. We'll try it one more time. Bash, this racetrack used to be tight in the corners. They had the inside retaining wall. They've done a lot to the place and made it look fantastic for the All-Stars as we get back underway into turn 1, and Kelly Kinzer this time takes the lead.
Bob Potter has done a fantastic job with this track. It wasn't the greatest of shape before this year, and they put over $1 million into it. Put together a real nice facility here with these brand new stands, long straightaways and pretty tight turns, but that's what's neat about sprint car racing. Every track you go to, it's always going to be a little bit different, making conditions always challenging for the drivers, Rick.
And you know nobody has any kind of information or homework on this racetrack. They haven't been here in 11 years, that's bad enough. They changed the configuration of the racetrack, so everybody is out there with fresh notepads, taking whatever notes they can to see if it'll help them come feature time. And right now it looks like Kelly Kinzer and Travis Rylett have the idea that they're going to run on the bottom of the racetrack. And you see on the outside, Shane Stewart slipped up almost into the wall, but he's starting to figure it out, and look behind him, last year's champion, the Mouse, running 4th.
Travis Rylett making his run right now, and Kelly Kinzer. Where's Kelly Kinzer at? On the bottom. Where else are you going to see Kelly Kinzer? Little smoke coming out of Billy Pouch's number 55 there, and you don't want to see that on the first night of Speedweeks, Rick.
Well, it's hard to say what's going to happen to these machines. A lot of them haven't driven since last year, and it does look like Pouch may have some engine problems on the number 55. We'll keep our eye on that, but right now they're halfway. 5 in, 5 to go. Kelly Kinzer, the Hoosier native, leading the event. Holbrook's 8H car of Shane Stewart took a look inside Rylett. Couldn't get it done. They head into turn number 3, and now Rylett starts to close in on Kinzer.
Boy, that is tight quarter racing on number 3 and 4 there. You know what, Rick?
Tight it is, but good side-by-side racing through those tight corners. And again, Stewart tried. Rylett on the inside, couldn't make it happen. Again, Rylett will close in on Kelly Kinzer.
Here comes Shane Stewart to try Travis Rylett, and Kenny Jacobs trying to make his run on the field here. Boy, what can you say about a guy that paints that car up so his dad can see it from the stands? You gotta love it. 4-time defending champion and a guy with a big old heart, Kenny Jacobs, back there in the number 4 spot.
Not worrying about where he's finishing or where he's running, worrying about Dad seeing the car, and I'm sure Dad saw the 2-lap signal. They'll get the white flag the next time by.
That's what makes a great champion, somebody that's also a humanitarian as well as a good driver in this series. You gotta love it every year with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. A great bunch of guys. White flag is out, Rick.
1 lap to go as the leaders now close in on slower traffic. Sliding up the bank is Rylett. Here comes Shane Stewart. Down the backstretch into 3. Rylett will take him through the corners. Stewart closing in as they come out of turn number 4. Checkered flag, and it's going to be Rylett, your winner. Shane Stewart comes home 2nd. Kelly Kinzer 3rd. The Mouse, Kenny Jacobs, is 4th. Tim Schaefer will make the feature event with his 5th place finish. Travis Rylett switches back to the old competition number he used to run years ago, the 1A car. And he is in victory lane, the Texas driver, heading to the pit area. DC Bash also heading down the stairs into the pits. We'll talk with heat race winner number 2, Travis Ryland, in a moment, as we are in Palatka, Florida, the old River City Speedway, now called Putnam County. This is Dirt Zone 2002. Don't go away.
All right, welcome back. Winner of heat number 2. We're doing a great job out there, Travis Ryland. Nice job. Great to see you back in 2002, man.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it much. Man, we didn't time in too good tonight. Started on the pole of that heat race there. Kelly Kendrick got us on the start, but luckily we got him back and come home with the win. And I don't know where we're starting in the feature, but we're going to come on up through there and have a good run tonight.
Got to be happy there was some passing out there. You lost the lead and you gained it back. Shane Stewart made a threat, but you hung on. So there is some passing going on tonight. It's got to make you happy with the track.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of passing going on. Track's in fair condition, and I think we got the car set up pretty well and we'll be nice for the feature. So hopefully we'll go out there and get us a good run.
Last year's KC Rookie of the Year. Good job. Good luck in 2002. Great to see you back, and good luck in the A-Main.
Hey, thanks a lot, and I'd like to give thanks out to Hallmark Race Trailers for helping us out this year.
Travis Ryland, winner of heat number 2, back in the winning ways. Back to you, Rick.
Radio Bash, we're ready for Engler Machine and Tool heat race number 3. One of the rookie contenders, Bill Rose, on the pole in 6B. Kenny Adams, the transplanted Floridian, formerly with the PA Posse, he'll be in the 2A car. Then it's the Brownsburg Bullet, Joey Saldana in 92, and the crowd pleaser, Craig Delansky in 7. Row number 3 has Lance DeWeese in that 77, and Greg Hodnett in the number 12. Greg Wilson in 63, Barry Rubel in 63R. Tom Bush in 4B, and Johnny Johnson, the veteran, in 72. Bash heat race number 3 is stacked and loaded, and they fire out of turn number 3. They see the green. Here we go.
Bill Rose again getting baptized by fire there. Some of these young bucks taking their first shot with the All-Star Circuit of Champions, but some big names. Again, you got to bring that A game. We got trouble over in 1 and 2 already. Looks like Greg Hodnett was one of the cars in that mess over there, Rick.
Well, caution flag coming out, and there it is. The Apple Chevrolet number 12 of Hodnett and the 77 car of Lance DeWeese. Both drivers stopped down in turns 1 and 2. Taking a look at the Hallmark Race Trailers replay, Bash, you can see the 12 car of Hodnett got sideways, no place for DeWeese to go. Both cars collected, bringing out the caution, and also involved Tom Bush getting a piece of that.
DeWeese Hodnett back to the tail, Bill Rose and Craig Delansky. It'll be all up to those two this time around. Joey Saldana, Kenny Adams close behind, and green flag is back out again, Rick.
Once again, the 6B car, Bill Rose, got caught sleeping, if you will, at the wheel. Kenny Adams working hard on the outside, but the number 92 of Joey Saldana cuts him off. As they head into turn number 3, Saldana keeps the low line, takes a look underneath Bush. Down the front stretch they come and head into 1.
Bill Rose not looking too bad after a long time with the USAC division non-wing show. Said he wanted to give it a shot out here with the All-Stars this year, and looking pretty good, holding the likes of Joey Saldana off. That is no easy task, Rick.
Got to think, though, Bash, going back to last year, Bill Rose, a non-wing driver for many years, how much is this going to affect him throwing a wing on top of a race car that he's not used to, a lot of tracks he's never seen? Is he going to have his work cut out for him in 2002?
It's going to be an incredible year, but some tough competition with the All-Stars, and he was telling me already, it's like, whoa, what did I get into here? But it takes time. It takes time. You've got to be patient running with these 410s, I'll tell you.
Well, they head into turn number 3, and down on the inside, Joey Saldana still looking to get by Bill Rose. But out front, Craig Delansky in the number 7, a comfortable lead right now, but you can never get comfortable. We're too early in the season. Nobody knows what's going to happen, and Saldana goes to the inside. He'll take over the number 2 spot.
Joey Saldana looking pretty good in that Denny Ashworth number 92. How many drivers did we see in that car last year, Rick? But Joey Saldana available right now, not having his ride together with the Hemsaw team for the 02 season and the Outlaws this year, but looking very good here in heat race number 3.
Well, we're approaching in lap number 6. Craig Delansky out front. Saldana running in that 2nd spot. Rose running 3rd. Then it's the 2A car of Kenny Adams, and rounding out the top 5, Hodnett from the tail. He's going to the inside of Adams, looking for the number 4 hole as they head into turn 3.
Hodnett having to go back to the tail. This guy, there is no stopping him. He's going to come from the back whenever he has a chance. Very, very tough driver, very seasoned driver in Greg Hodnett. Craig Delansky definitely having his way, though, in heat race number 3.
And Delansky, another one of those drivers supporting new colors for 2002. He gets the 2-lap signal. White flag the next time. Boy, it's going to be hard to keep up with these guys. They change numbers, they change colors. Even Ashworth is different this year. He has a blue car. Instead of that familiar red on the side, you can see it on the top of the wing, but it's blue on the side as we go white, 1 to go.
The crowd pleaser, Craig Delansky. It appears as though he has it under control as Joey Saldana does something quick, and he might do it. And Delansky holding off Joey Saldana. Incredible racing here at Putnam Speedway.
Into turn number 3, Delansky on the inside. Here comes Saldana. Craig Delansky's going to win heat race number 3. Joey Saldana comes home second. Bill Rose, the rookie, he'll take the number 3 spot. Greg Hodden at 4th. Kenny Adams rounding out the top 5. Craig Delansky gets the job done in heat race number 3, but the Imperial Packaging.com 92 car of Joey Saldana puts the heat on. The heat is building. Don't go away. This is Dirt Zone.
Welcome back, winner of heat number 3, the Polydome Caravan number 7, Craig Delansky. They call him the crowd pleaser. Excellent run out there. He's run off with it for pretty much.
Well, I tell you what, we got some things to get ironed out here yet, but you know, that's one of the things we're here for, is to try and get things chased down here. It's our first night out this year, and you know, we're happy to be here in Florida, having some fun with the All-Stars. It's a great organization, and we have an addition there to our sponsor list with underground air compressors, so we can't forget about them. But well, we definitely have our work cut out for us here. We start towards the back, so we'll hopefully we make the right choices.
Craig, are you happy with the way things went last year with the Outlaws, and what's your outlook for 2002?
Yeah, you know, it could have been better, it could have been worse, but hopefully we can learn from some of the things that went on there last year. And, you know, it was a pretty good year for us. We ended up in the top 5 in the points and won some races. But, you know, we're looking forward to a stronger year this year and working hard at it. And, you know, these Hoosier tires are great, and Charlie Fisher builds a good motor, and Charlie Garrett, and these Maxim cars are good, so we'll just see what we can do.
First thing everybody in Northwest Ohio wants to know, what does the crowd pleaser stand for?
Well, I tell you what, I'm not in charge of giving them nicknames, and somebody gave it to me, and I'm not sure who, but, you know, so be it. So, anyhow, we just go out and race hard every night. And
needless to say, it's great to see you out with us, and best of luck in 2002 with the World of Outlaws, and good luck here at Florida Speed Weeks.
Thank you very much.
Craig Delansky, winner of heat number 3. Back to you, Rick.
Well, a little post-race activity on the car number 7 as we get ready for TP Wings heat race number 4. Rookie contender Bruce Romanall in the number 98 on the pole. Sean Chaney in 27C. Kevin Fry in 2K. Phil Gressman in the 9. He'll start in the number 4 position. Dean Jacobs in the number 34. Jason Johnson in 41. Michael Dupuy in 4M. Fremont's own Jody Keegan in K60. And in the V8, the Juice, Jeff Hodgson. As we are ready to go. 4th and final heat event bash. More drivers, different numbers. Man, this gets confusing early in the season.
Bruce Romanall fishtailing out. The green flag evidently going to stick. Sean Chaney in that second spot. And here comes Phil Gressman, still back pretty new with the Dwight Riedling team, trying to make us run early here. He's going to dive into Sean Chaney and make his assault to the front of the field. Boy, Phil Gressman looking pretty good already in that number 9. And here comes Dean Jacobs in that number 34 with John Baker this year. So, yeah, Rick, it does get a little confusing with all the driver changes going on.
Well, that number 34 car was the 4 car that Danny Smith drove last year, but Baker's competition number is 34. That's the number Dean Jacobs is going to be running. Mark it down. You'll be seeing him a lot this year as your leaders head into 1 and 2.
Phil Gressman having his way in heat race number 4. Rick, couple of guys you want to keep your eyes on that Florida Speedweeks will do for you. Sean Chaney logging his 3rd season in a sprint car. Very excited to get some seat time down here in Florida, first time down here. So I think he has a real big season ahead of him in that 27C car with Sean Chaney.
Sean Chaney right now can hear the rumblings of Dean Jacobs as they head down the backstretch into turn number 3. Side by side, they almost went 3 wide, and Jason Johnson gets into Kevin Fry. Caution flag is out, and we'll have to reline him up as Michael Dupuy also involved down there in turn number 4 along with the Racing Cajun, Jason Johnson.
Well, Rick, Jason Johnson back with that Lanny Road team, always looking good on the Hallmark Race Trailers replay. Looks like he just got a little too aggressive there. Jumped up on the 2K car. Michael Dupuy had nowhere to go. Jason Johnson trying to gas it a little bit, but going to have to go to the tail and possibly work his way back to the B main. Callie's Performance Scoreboard, 4 down and 6 to go in this heat race number 4.
And out front, Phil Gressman, rookie contender Bruce Romanall, as you see Bear lining them up single file order down the back stretch and into turn number 3, ready for a green flag this time by. And now it's up to Jason Johnson to come from the tail as Hodnett did. We'll see if he can get it done. Lots of time left in this 4th heat, the TP Wings heat. Great to have TP Wings with us here for 2002.
Yeah, got some new sponsors, Rick, and that's what it's all about in sprint car racing. They call it the S word, sponsorships, and we know way too well about that here doing the Stevie Show week in and week out. And we want to thank all our sponsors as well. Looks like Phil Gressman's going to knock it down here. Sean Cheney not looking too bad. Dean Jacobs looks like he may take him right now, but still very much in the running for that A main tonight to get in that top 5 on the bubble.
Well, last year, Dean Jacobs used every group that every racetrack had to offer, and it looks like right now he seems to like it down low in turns 3 and 4, center groove through 1 and 2, and then down the backstretch. It looks like the caution is waving. They're slowing down. We've got a problem on the racetrack. And up in turn number 4, spinning out, bringing out the caution flag again, the number 4 car, Michael Dupuy. He was kind of a victim in the first one, causes this one. Callie's performance scoreboard shows 6 in, 4 to go. Gressman takes him into 3.
Phil Gressman, it'll be all up to him this time around. Bruce Robinald not looking too bad as well. Looking for those rookie points this year with the All-Stars. Ran a couple of shows last year, but wants to try to run the whole tour this year. And here we go again, green, green, green.
Back underway, Phil Gressman picks up where he left off. Out front, Robinald second, Dean Jacobs running third, Sean Cheney running fourth. And now we'll see if Fry has the salt to keep out Jason Johnson from the top 5 and get into that feature event. A good battle for the final transfer position as we close in on the end of heat race number 4, and Fry pulling every trick out of his bag. And he gets around Jason Johnson, but here comes Johnson back on the outside. They take the battle into 4.
I believe Jason Johnson might do it here, Rick. He looks like he's diving up there and getting to that final spot to transfer, and he's got number 4 right now. So Jason Johnson is going to make the A main after appearing to be going back through the B earlier on.
Well, never count your chickens before they're hatched, as we still have 1 to go. White flag is out across the line. Robinald having a battle with the 34 of Dean Jacobs. Robinald slips up in 2. Jacobs wheels stand just a little bit out of 2 and down the backstretch. Into 3 they go. Robinald coming out of 4, spins it! And we've got troubles in turn number 4. And we'll sort this one out for you as a wild finish to our final heat event. And checking with scoring, Phil Gressman gets the win. And watch it, out of turn number 4, Gressman takes the checker flag. Robinald spins. Jason Johnson gets collected by Fry, and then all you know what breaks loose as they all dash for the finish. But it was Dean Jacobs coming home second, finishing third, Kevin Fry. Sean Cheney gets 4th. Michael Dupuy gets 5th. Way to start 2002. Lots of action. We've got more coming on Dirt Zone.
That is Dwight Reeling, number 9. Phil Gressman doing a real nice job at heat number 4. Phil, look tough out there.
Things are going good so far, so we're off on the right foot. Let's see if we can't keep it that way.
We were talking a little bit earlier on the track there as far as the conditions for the track. Looks like you got it dialed in pretty nice so far.
Yeah, the car's pretty nice. I don't know what else to change on her. Racing's going to be a little tough. The track's kind of narrow. Just give it our best and see how things turn out.
Thing I've noticed so far, there is some passing going on. Normally your stomach kind of sinks as a fan early on. Look at it, oh no, we're going to have a train ride, and all of a sudden we're seeing some passing out there.
Well, the high lane getting into the first turn's pretty good to make a move on. Some of the guys, you shut down the momentum. The corners are so tight, you can just maybe keep some momentum and roll past them, but better get in line.
Good to see you out to a good start in 2002, and good luck in the A-Main.
Thanks a lot.
Phil Gressman, winner of heat number 4. Back to you, Rick.
Thanks, Bash. And as Phil Gressman climbs off his four-wheeler, obviously happy with the win. Speaking of winners, the number 12, Greg Hodnett in the Apple Chevrolet sponsor machine, picked up the Hallmark Race Trailers Dash. First Dash winner of 2002, standing in victory lane. Nice smile with Barney. And we take a look at action from tonight's B main event. On the drop of the green flag, Billy Pouch and Jason Johnson battled up front. Pouch, if you remember, back in the heat, he was smoking heavily. Once again, the smoke billows out of that number 55 machine. Still up to speed, battling it out with Johnson, but it's not going to last for long for Billy Pouch. As down on lap number 5, Pouch goes into 1 and 2. One big puff of smoke. He's done. He's out of competition for tonight's racing program. Moving on to lap number 9, you see Guy Webb's number 51, formerly Jared Hull behind the wheel. Danny Smith having no luck as that car comes to rest. And in turn number 4, the Underground Utilities Incorporated 15K, Chad Kavanaugh, second in points last year, wins the B main. Jason Johnson second, Lance Deweese third, Rodney Duncan finishes 4th, and then Jeremy Campbell in the 10C brings out a little action in turn number 4 as he loops his machine. We are set. The field is set. Don't leave your set. This is Dirt Zone. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Dirt Zone, race fans. And Bash, A little bit different format here tonight. Normally the 4 abreast parade lap. Tonight we have the missing man formation.
Well, yeah, Rick, some tragedy striking, of course, middle of last season. John Bankston losing his life at Eldora. And Ronald Laney, boy, tough break over at East Bay. Killed in an accident last week in a 360 race over there. So this is what we call the missing man formation. You'll notice Lance DeWeese, the pole center, moving up, and we leave an empty spot there in honor of their memory right now. So tragic stuff happening early on here in the 2002 season.
Well, you got to love the way the All-Stars take care of their own, remembering some of their fellow competitors. Your starting lineup, Lance DeWeese in 77, Tim Schaefer in 45.
Row number 2, last year's runner-up in the All-Stars, Chad Kemenaugh, Jason Johnson alongside of number 41.
Row 3, Greg Hodnett and Gary Wright. Row 4, Dean and Kenny Jacobs, the brothers side by side.
Kenny Adams, Phil Gressman for row number 5. Row 6, it'll be Fred Raymer and Shane Stewart in 8H.
Row 7, it's Joey Saldana and Kevin Fry in 2K. Row 8, Zach Chappell in 50Z, Kelly Kinzer in 4K.
Row number 9, the crowd pleaser, Craig Delansky, Sean Cheney alongside of number 27, Mike Woodring, and Travis Riley take up row number 10.
Bill Rose in 6B, Mike Wagner in 55, Rodney Duncan in 22, Michael Dupuy in 4M. The field is set. The first race of 2002 screams out of 4. We're underway.
I want you to look at that front row. Lance DeWeese and that Al Hamilton, number 77, Tim Schaefer in number 45, and they're going to go toe-to-toe right off the bat here. Tim Schaefer landed down on Lance DeWeese in lap number 1.
Lance DeWeese with 2 wheel stands down the super stretch, but it's Tim Schaefer leading lap number 1. DeWeese running in that second spot. Kemenaugh running third. Jason Johnson fourth. Running out the top 5, it's Greg Hodnett, and a lot of drivers bash. See him pulling the front wheels up. What's the story?
Well, long straightaways, tight turns, tough to choose a gear here. A lot of gun out of the turn number 2 and turn number 4 there, so you're going to see the wheels up a lot tonight, Rick.
Well, if the front wheels are up off the ground, that means the rear wheels are getting a real good bite. That's what the drivers want here tonight. As Schaefer brings them out of 4, slowing down, caution flag is out. Taking a look over in turn number 2, bash, it's Hodnett and Gary Wright.
Boy, I got to put my money that these guys, even though they got to go to the tail right now, are going to be right back up in the thick of things as we take a look at Callie's performance. Scoreboard 2 down, 28 to go. Gary Wright going to the tail along with Greg Hodnett there, but I got a feeling they're going to make their way back, Rick.
Well, you got to wonder, what is the number 77 car of Lance DeWeese going to do? Freddie Raymer in this car for such a long time. Now DeWeese jumps in it. He's running in that second spot. He might be one of the shoe-ins to win the feature running up front here tonight as the racetrack getting a little bit tough to negotiate. And Chad Kemenaugh holds off Jason Johnson and Dean Jacobs running in the top 5. The Mouse running 6. Kenny Adams running 7th as they thunder down the backstretch.
Four-time defending champion Kenny Jacobs alongside brother Dean there in that new number 34 that John Baker put together this year. A new team put together after Danny Smith exited. So we'll see what happens in the long run here, but tires a must. Kenny Jacobs absolutely frustrated, not having real good Florida Speed Weeks for over 8 years now, so it'd be nice to see him get towards the front in this A-main event at Putnam County Speedway, Rick.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Florida Speed Weeks is any indication to a championship run, Kenny Jacobs didn't have a very good Speed Week last year, ended up pulling off the championship down to the last few races. So you can't take this all too serious here in Florida. Yeah, you'd like to pick up the win. Yeah, you'd like to have some extra money, be the point leader. But Jacobs knows it's a long season, and Chad Kemenaugh knows that as well. And you can believe these two are going to battle all season long to try and take a championship once again.
You're exactly right, Rick. You can do great down here and do terrible all season long. It's one of those funny things, again, like preseason football. You don't want to bank your season on what happens in the Sunshine State.
Jason Johnson in 41 chases Chad Kemenaugh. The Underground Utilities Incorporated 15K. Everybody with new paint jobs this year. Beautiful start to 2002. These guys all have fresh engines, nice new clean machines, and everybody out there running as hard as they can on night number 1 of what is going to prove to be one of the best seasons for the All-Star Circuit of Champions.
Lance DeWeese showing an incredible amount of patience right now, trailing along behind Tim Schaefer, but I got a feeling he may make his move here before too awful long. Chad Kemenaugh looking very good this year in that brand new Eagle roller chassis, number 15K. Chad Kemenaugh looks like a man on a mission after leaving Australia just a couple of weeks ago.
One of the guys that's impressing me here right now, Bash, is the number 41 of Jason Johnson. Johnson, the racing Cajun out of Eunice, Louisiana, having a stellar run here early on in this feature event as he stays behind Chad Kemenaugh and running in 4th. This is too bad for Johnson early in the event. but we'll see if he can keep it going for all 30 laps as now they close in on the slower car, the 6B rookie contender, Bill Rose.
Chad Kemenaugh, Jason Johnson going to it. Punch here, punch there, left, right, hook, back and forth. Excellent, excellent action back in the middle of the field there. Rick and Gary Wright looks like he may have some trouble with that Pennell Motorsports number 9.
Gary Wright, the NCRA champion from last year. Strong competitor whenever he ran against the World of Outlaws driver. But it looks like his night is over early as he pulls the number 9 into the infield. And up front, Schaefer now in a battle with the 77 of DeWeese as they close in on Rodney Duncan. Down the backstretch, Schaefer holds off a hard charge of DeWeese. Here comes Chad Kemenaugh. 3 cars battle up front.
That shows you the seasoning of Lance DeWeese to gather that car up after nearly going to the wall, and he's coming back to take over Tim Schaefer, and it looks like he may do it. He's on the outside going into turn 3. Lance DeWeese will do it. Take over the top spot in this A-main.
Both cars get underneath Woodring in the number 19, but the caution flag waves. That's going to slow him down. What a battle up front between Lance DeWeese and Tim Schaefer. Taking a look over into turn number 2, and the jinx has started in 2002 Bash. Every time we talk about somebody, they have problems, and that was the number 41 of Johnson. Callie's performance tells us 13 in, 17 to go. We're just about at halfway, and we've got to knock off this praising a driver during a feature. Just let him run. Call the action because every time the jinx sets in.
Jason Johnson has had his trouble tonight, but Lance DeWeese has to go back to the previously scored laps according to All-Star rules. So after that incredible performance, he's going to do it right away again. Lance DeWeese knocking off the top spot right away. It appears as though Tim Schaefer's getting a little bit loose. Lance DeWeese seems to be coming in as this race goes on.
Lance DeWeese appears to have the setup as we approach the halfway point. We will be 15 in and 15 to go next time. Lance DeWeese doesn't run a lot with the All-Stars throughout the season, but when he does, he's always a fierce competitor. Tough to tame in the Holbrook entry with a big wheel stand down the backstretch. Shane Stewart holding off the number 88, which used to be DeWeese's car. Now it's Fast Freddie Raymer. Keep your eyes peeled on the number 77 car, though, up front as he is still leading the event.
Lance DeWeese couldn't be happier after winning that Williams Grove Championship last year. Very prestigious to win it up there where the sprint car fans are absolutely nuts with the PA Posse, spinning last year with Joe Hars and that 88 car. Getting that right with Hamilton late in the season, and looks like he's looking pretty good so far down here on the first night of Florida Speedweek, Rick.
And the cat, Dean Jacobs, also looking pretty strong right here as he closes in on Chad Kemenaugh. Kenny Jacobs still trying to figure out the setup on the number 6. Not able to close in on the leaders. Phil Gressman starting to gain real estate on the Jacobs Honaker Motorsports entry as they head out of turn number 4. The number 6 of Kenny Jacobs scratching his head right now. Florida has not been kind to Kenny Jacobs, but the All-Stars have, as he has won a lot of championships, including last season's crown, chasing Chad Kemenaugh the entire season, getting him at the end, so you know he's going to be knocking at the door before long with his first feature win.
Kenny Jacobs looking for some big things down here in the Sunshine State with Florida Speedweeks, Rick, on the Hoosier tires, because the Hoosier tires seem to be the tire of choice for these Florida Speedweeks. So yes, he is looking to get towards the front and get some feature wins down here. He's tired of having bad Florida Speedweeks, Rick.
Well, less than 10 laps to go now as Lance DeWeese closing in on slower traffic. He approaches Rodney Duncan in the number 22. Schaefer right there on his heels, though. We've got 9 laps to go. It's not over. Hang on, the first race of the season could be a photo finish. We'll find out as they thunder down the back chute into turn number 3.
That's the thing with these tight turns. Tim Schaefer is going to be nosing right up to Lance DeWeese a bunch more times before this night's over. He's telling him, go ahead, make your move, fella, but I'm right behind you. Right there, you're going to make a mistake.
Well, it's been a long, cold winter, but it's such a great feeling to see these winged warriors out on any racetrack. Doesn't matter where they're at. They happen to be here in Florida. Beautiful setting for the season opener as your leaders come out of 4 down the front chute. We are closing in on the 5 to go signal.
Kenny Jacobs trying to make his way towards the front in that great new paint job. And you got to love the way the guy said it so his dad could see the car. Kenny Jacobs still a fierce competitor. He's been around 30 plus years in a sprint car and looks like he's got a lot of years left in him, Rick, making his run right now.
Making a good run also is Chad Kemenaugh once again getting on the back door, trying to get around Schaefer, but then Schaefer finds some speed in turn number 3. He closes in on DeWeese. DeWeese comes into slower traffic. There it is. 5 to go.
It's all about traffic and sprint car racing, and here it is. Lance Deweese has to maneuver traffic. If he doesn't, he will get passed by Tim Schaefer, because Tim Schaefer looks flat out tough right now. It looks like the car was getting loose earlier, but it looks like it's coming back in. Here he is right behind him, watching as they go through traffic, Rick.
Into turns 1 and 2. Lance Deweese in 77. Tim Schaefer in 45. Chad Kavanaugh in 15K. Jason Johnson, there's Dean Jacobs, the Cat, in 34. We haven't called him out very much tonight. He's been real quiet, but he's running up there in that top 5. And we've got trouble in the turn as DuPois in 4M and the 6B rookie contender Bill Rose are going to bring out the caution flag, and we are close to the end.
Bill Rose showing his frustration there after tangling Michael DuPois up there, but Bill Rose knows he's going to take his licks here early, trying it out with the All-Star Circuit of Champions and the Wing Warriors. Callie's performance scoreboard, 27 down, just 3 to go, a 3-lap dash, Rick.
3-lap dash, still anybody's race. This ought to be probably the best 3 laps, so we will see in quite some time. And it's going to happen right here at Putnam County Raceway, Palatka, Florida. Green is out, 3 to go. Here we are, storming into 1 and 2. We are back underway. Kavanaugh trying to grab the number 2 spot from Tim Schaefer as they head down the back chute into 3.
Do not count out Chad Kavanaugh. He looks like a different driver. After spending a whole month in Australia, we got trouble on the back stretch.
And it looks like Kenny Adams in the 2A car and Shane Stewart in 8H. What a vicious ride down the back chute. You can see the drivers both trying to unstrap. Safety crews going over to check on Adams. I guess he gives the word okay, and they'll run over to Shane Stewart, check him out as Stewart trying to get out of that battered machine, and there he is. He's climbing out underneath the wing. Shane Stewart emerging from what is a destroyed race car. What a turn of events here, Bash. Both drivers seem to be okay, and now it is. He's getting out. Kenny Adams in the 2A, but what a vicious crash with only 3 to go.
Well, that's racing, Rick. Some guys, they want to get together and try to get that win, and here it is, Hallmark Race Trailers replay. Let's see if we can find out what. Yep. This both racing aggressively, trying to go at it hard. They got together, and you're going to take a ride through space.
Well, I'll tell you what, a ride through space it was. Here's a different angle. Take a look at how high and how many times the 2A car of Kenny Adams goes over. I'll tell you what, safety is a concern with these drivers, and it held up once again. Callie's performance tells us 27 in, 3 to go, Bash. We wanted excitement, we got it, but that's the kind of excitement you don't want to see, especially for those drivers who worked so hard to get here for this first feature event.
It really does say a lot about the safety of these sprint cars, especially the wing, the way it collapses and cushions that blow on the driver. Green flag is out, and we are back to racing. Lance Deweese, 3 laps to go. Tim Schaefer following close behind, Rick.
Chad Kavanaugh running in the 3rd spot. There's Jason Johnson at 41. Down the back chute, Kavanaugh takes a look to the inside. Into turn number 3, Kavanaugh battling for 2nd. 2-lap signal given. We're getting white next time for our first feature event.
Chad Kavanaugh not diving in low to dig it out, not showing Tim Schaefer his tire. Tim Schaefer's got other things on his mind, maybe a checkered flag. Lance Deweese has a lot of open speedway ahead of him. Don't think it's going to happen, Rick.
Out of turn number 4, white is out, 1 to go. Lance Deweese less than a lap away from picking up the first feature event for the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Florida Speedweeks is kind to the number 77 of Lance Deweese. Bash, bring it home out of 4.
There's Lance Deweese. It's his 5th win in Florida Speedweek history. Lance Deweese looking very tough. Tim Schaefer brings home the number 2 spot. Chad Kavanaugh will take home number 3. Number 4 goes to Dean Jacobs and brother Kenny Jacobs, rounding out the top 5.
Well, you got to think that Kenny Jacobs would be happy with a 5th place finish. Of course, Chad Kavanaugh again finishes ahead of him here at the beginning of the season. Granted, it's only 2 spots, but tip your hats off to the number 77. Lance Deweese comes down to Florida, steals feature event number 1. Tim Schaefer with a stellar run in that 2nd spot. DC Bash is on his way to the pit area, and with what you can bet will be a very happy Lance Deweese on Dirt Zone.
Well, the PA posse continues to be a thorn in the side of the All-Stars, and this time in the name of Lance Deweese. Lance, you do it again down here. First night of Speedweeks, great job out there.
Well, thanks a lot. You know, we have a little bit of advantage. We've been racing already for a week, so with 360s in, but you know, this is the first time I've ever seen this place. They've made a lot of improvements here, and the racetrack's a little tricky, but we were pretty good here tonight.
You dialed in pretty nice with the Sal Hamilton ride, coming out of the Carl Harris ride. You and Freddie Raymer switching rides this year. Looks like you're getting dialed in pretty quick with this new team.
Well, yeah, we were pretty good 3 races we ran the end year last year, and we carried that momentum over this year. And I just like to thank Al Hamilton giving me the opportunity to drive this car. You know, it's one of the most popular owners in the country, so you know I had to take the shot when we had it. And I just like to thank my sponsors: Mannheim Auto Auction, Hanks Performance Products, Hoosier Tires, J&J Chassis, and Donnell Engines, and Brecker Famous Fries. Because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to do this.
You had to go back through the B main to get back to the feature, but you and fellow Pennsylvanian Tim Schaefer seemed like you're going to go to toe-to-toe. He would not go away. You were threatening there about the 12th, 13th lap. The car got away from you, recovered, and you finished real nice. So great job tonight.
Well, in these little bull rings like this, traffic's everything, and I knew I'd get my shot at him, but we about got together on the back stretch. I about lost it, but I gathered back in pretty quick, and our car come on good there late, and we just kind of got a nice smooth rim once I got out in front, and it was pretty good from there.
Just to finish up here, I know how much it meant to you to win the Williams Grove Championship last year, and put it in your own words.
Well, it means a lot. It really meant more for me to win it for Joe Harsh than anything, because I've already won it before, but the Grove National meant a lot because that was my second one and his first ever, so I really felt special winning it for him, and you know, hopefully I could maybe win one for Al Hamilton this year.
Best of luck rest of Florida Speedweeks here, and best of luck rest of the season for 2002.
Thank you.
Lance Deweese, feature winner tonight. Back to you, Rick.
Thank you very much, Bash. Well, Denny Ashworth's choice of drivers seemed to pay off on race number 1 as the Brownsburg Bullet, Joey Saldana, passes 6 cars going from 13th to 7th, our Callie's Performance Hard Charger.
Mr. Consistency, taking no time to establish his ways in 2002, straight from Australia. You lay it down here tonight. 3rd place wasn't first, but as far as you're concerned, that's the way you like to run.
We always want to try to win, but on a racetrack like this, you just got to keep yourself patient, and it almost relates back to maybe somebody making a mistake in front of you. And I wanted to see it go non-stop there. I think maybe we was a little bit better in lap traffic. It seemed like whenever we hit it, we got a little bit better than them guys, but evidently they was better than us in the long run because they finished in front of us. But we'll take a 3rd to get the year started right away.
You had a couple of shots at Tim Schaefer throughout the night. Right there at the end, you took a shot, but like you said, you just kept getting the yellow flags and having a bunch up again, and it looked like lap traffic was where it was going to be for you.
Yeah, it was definitely lap traffic because once we got in the open traffic or in the open track, everyone seemed to be the same speed, so just kind of took what we got there.
All right, keys to the rest of the week. What do you got to do?
Just make every one of them and finish in the top 5, and we'll leave Full Lord on a good note.
Chad Kemenoff, good job tonight here at Putnam County.
All right, thanks, guys.
Good luck rest of the week. Chad Kemenoff, 3rd place tonight. Back to you, Rick.
Thanks, DC. Our track action racing collectibles heartbreak of the night goes to a pair of high flyers. Kenny Adams in 2A, Shane Stewart in 8H, both losing control with just 3 to go. And next week on Dirt Zone, round 2 of Florida Speedweeks from Volusia Speedway Park. Upcoming events, we head north to Eldora Speedway and also to Attica Raceway Park. This is Dirt Zone. Good night.